Hello, welcome back to my channel. Yesterday I kind of went on the more emotional side of the bariatric surgery. Basically what I stand to gain from it, a little bit on what you're going to lose. So I kind of wanted to go a little more into specifics on what you're going to have to give up, from what I've read in my booklet that I was given. And then as I do my appointments, I'm going to kind of do updates and things like that. I get this as kind of the very beginning of prepping for the surgery. So I am going to start some weight loss prior, obviously, but I'll document all that as I go as well. Like I said, just to help anybody out who's thinking about it, anyone who might be in my shoe as well. So basically what we were talking about kind of a little yesterday was giving up like soda, carbonated beverages, things like that. It just kind of sounds like your stomach's not going to have enough room for liquids and those gases. So it sounds like carbonated beverages are pretty much out for your entire rest of your life. Before the procedure, they do put you on an 800 calorie diet. That will probably be the lowest calorie diet I've ever been on. In the past, when I've tried to diet on my own, I've done 1,200 to 1,500 calories. As I've gotten older, that's not working so much anymore. But 800 calories for a couple weeks. You are going to be on a clear liquid diet right prior to your your surgery, and for a couple weeks after. Then another 6 weeks after, you're on like soft foods before you get to solids. You're going to give up anything really sugary. It sounds like you may be able to handle things like that in the future, but how you're going to feel and how it's going to react in your body probably won't even benefit you to even try them anymore. So you're going to be giving up cakes and cookies and things like that. You're definitely going to have a smaller meal sizes. Obviously, you're not going to have 80% of your stomach anymore. It'll be more tube-like. You're going to have to chew. In my booklet, it says 30 chews per bite. So you really, really want to chew your food very, very well so that it goes down. When you're taking pills and things like that, it does state take them one at a time. Those have a tendency to get stuck if you take multiple pills at a time. Keeping in mind you're going to be on a lot of vitamins. We're not going to be taking enough food to sustain all our nutritional needs as far as vitamins go. So I looked through it, and I've got an Amazon cart already going with like baby plates. They recommend baby plates, baby spoons, baby forks. Kind of helps you. I get the idea behind that. I think that's a good plan. Talk about you being a visual person, or people are visual in general. So a full plate makes you feel more full. So you get a smaller plate. It looks the same as like a regular adult plate to you. So I've got some of those. I've got the vitamins. So it's a multivitamin, an iron, folic acid. Biotin, I believe. No, biotin's in the multivitamin. There's a few vitamins you're going to have to take, and they do recommend chewable, dissolving, those kind of things right after surgery. I think you can probably take capsules and things like that a little down the road, but something that's a little easier to digest or get into your system is kind of what they recommend after surgery. There is probably 2 to 4 weeks where you can't lift anything over 10 pounds. So keep that in mind for people who have kids, things like that. I've already talked to my sister and let her know that I won't be able to pick her children up anymore for that time period. I have a nephew and a niece who live in town with me, and my niece is going to be probably 2 around the time that I have the surgery, and my nephew's 3, so it's a little harder for them to understand why I can't pick them up, but they definitely weigh over 10 pounds at this point. So just keep those kind of things in mind. Recovery, it says about 2 weeks. I think a lot of that recovery period that they're talking about is just because you're adjusting to basically eating again with your new digestive setup. And so it might be easier to do that at home than it would be to do that at work. They also, when I was setting up my nutritional dietary appointments, they do ask a lot of questions about your insurance as far as calling them and checking that things are covered. I work for the state, so my procedure is pretty much fully covered. Due to all the things going on that I kind of discussed in my previous video, we've pretty much met most of our deductibles, even our out-of-pocket, we're almost there. But do make sure with your insurance, check what your costs are, depending if that's something that is necessary for you to know. I'm not saying that it's still not worth it if you're going to have to pay a little into it, but that's something that you might want to check on. Also a doctor that you like. My primary surgeon turns out to be like tier 2 for my insurance, which means I'm going to pay a little extra, or my out-of-pocket's going to be a little extra. But the thing is, I really liked him when I talked to him. He seemed to understand where I was coming from and what my concerns were. And that's really important when it comes down to something like this too. I personally have never been under anesthetic. I don't know how I'm going to react or anything like that. They're going to have to put me under on the 21st of April for my my biopsy, so they'll get a kind of taste of what could happen. But like I said, that I've never been under, so I have no idea how things will go and how they'll play out. You're going to need to take in a lot of protein. And I've heard this from a lot of people I know who've had bypass or the sleeve, and how that can be kind of a, not a problem, but it can be kind of hard to do. So my particular doctor is giving me, like I said, the little booklet, and it talks about what proteins you want to be taking in. You can do pre-made shakes. He has a specific brands that he recommends, or you can do the powdered. And it sounds like that's going to be a big thing now in your life, is making sure that you get that protein in your system. That really is the big thing they talk about. They talk about how you, sorry about that. You talk about how you can still have like carbs, but you want to lower carbs to this, fats, things like that. How many grams of each thing you want to have, but basically most of the booklet is just protein. So I have also bought some meal replacement shakes. They are a generic brand from Walmart. I just tend to buy generic, usually the same thing. However, it's not a brand that they recommend. Seeing as how I'm not, I don't have the gastric sleeve yet, I'm going to try these, kind of get myself used to meal replacements, and I'll switch over to a brand that they recommend in the future. My doctor offered, due to my weight, over a certain period of time, once I've started losing weight, we'll go into my starting weight and what my goals are and things, but I'm just not as comfortable divulging that right now on YouTube. But I promise I will go into that as I get a little more comfortable and I see that this is headed in the direction that I'm hoping, which it will. I have faith in that. But anyways, he did recommend or offer that I get medication to help me lose weight prior to surgery. And I've kind of heard of this before, but it's a diabetic medication. It's an injectable I take once a week. And basically I'll take that once a week. I have to start eating better because it can cause some digestive issues if you're not eating more appropriately. And he says that I could lose 40 to 50 pounds on that. And we're talking about surgery in the summer. So we're talking a few months. We're not talking a long time or anything.